Good day, everyone. We're here at Batu in Disneyland because we read the Star Wars Black Spire book, which is about Vi Marathi. You'll see her throughout the park, but the book really helps explain a lot of Batu. So what we're going to do is go around and kind of tell you what's going on as far as the storyline and how it connects with this land. Because most people walk through here and don't know what a lot of this stuff is. Now the story starts out with Vi Marathi basically being sent by Leia to find a new place to establish a resistance base. They go to Batu with Cardinal. Hey, what was Cardinal's rank? Wasn't he? He was a First Order captain. Yeah, Captain Cardinal. So they go with Captain Cardinal.
Don't forget Pook.
Yeah, and Pook, the droid. They come to Batu to basically establish a resistance base. They crash land their ship somewhere out in the forest, so it could be anywhere around this area, I would imagine. The whole book kind of leads up to what you're seeing here. This is obviously after the base has been established. Here's a quick cover of the book we're referring to, but we looked up the droid Pook. How would you describe him?
Well, he's his equivalent, if you've ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is the paranoid android, kind of...
He's a sassy fellow.
Yeah.
But I noticed these droid prints, and I feel like they could potentially be from Pook. That would be an amazing detail. They don't quite match. He's got like a little
Round.
yeah, a little round thing. But these tracks just kind of go all around this area as if they were working to build this base. So Vi got into town. She got all of her stuff stolen. She got with Oga Guerra. She sent her on a mission to go into the basically cave ruins to find the thing. What was she looking for?
It was an artifact that turned out to be a necklace made of glowing stone.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, while she was exploring the cave is actually the cue to Rise of Resistance. So what we see now going through the ride is her established base. But initially, when the book is happening, she's kind of uncovering all these traps and things that have been set in there for a long time.
Yeah, for anyone trying to steal the treasure by the ancient people who lived here before.
This is actually Oga Guerra, owner of Oga's Cantina.
And basically everything else on Black Spire.
Yeah, Black Spire doesn't have any real government or anything. She's kind of the boss of it all. Vi, Archex, and Pook. Archex is Captain Cardinal. That's his name once his real name. No longer First Order guy. But when they crash land, he's injured, and that girl, what's her name? Sujin? Salju.
Yeah.
She basically is the mechanic over where the land speeders are. So we'll check that out later. But she basically introduces Vi to the town of Black Spire.
Vi actually passes by this place and she's like, oh, I like that Jedi symbol, but she didn't recognize she called them round bird statues, but they're porgs.
Porgs.
And that's exactly what's here.
Now in the bazaar, they basically took her around to a lot of these stores. I'm sure the actual Galaxy's Edge Batu is scaled down to how it is in the book. But she did have to go in here and buy a disguise because, well, one, she's a spy, and two, she kind of stood out. She needed to look more like somebody from Black Spire. Captain Cardinal, Archex, he did wood carvings while he was injured with the ship because he couldn't do anything. He was just stuck there. So he would make wood carvings. Is that what he made?
I remember that specifically.
That is awesome. So what he did was he made wood carvings and actually sold him to the owner of this toy store here in the bazaar. So these are Archex's wooden toy creations. I'm really nerding out now though because I never paid too much attention to some of the stuff up here. But they got a pod racer over there. They got a pod racer over here. And they got one right here. Everyone knows we've got a pod racer engine here at Ronto Wraps, but the owner, and drawing a blank on his name.
I know they called him the Butcher, but I don't know what his proper name was. I forget what his proper name was.
He's obsessed with pod racing. It's actually outlawed in the galaxy because of how dangerous it is at this point. I think it's always been outlawed, but he really loves it, and that's probably why they're doing it. Vi also got to experience a Ronto Wrap, like her first day in Black Spire, and of course she loved it because they're the best. I don't think they had a breakfast one though in the book. Sarah, talk about the actual Black Spire.
It's right there outside of Doc Ondar's, and in the book it's described as polished black obsidian. And there's a legend that there was a monster that a local witch defeated, and the monster's still trapped inside. So the kids, they would do a prank. They would dare each other to go up and touch it, but they would just kiss their feet and touch it.
Well, what's funny about that is if you look, all the spires are different. This is actually the only one that's black. She remembers something that I'm forgetting. Maybe if you jog my memory here about this tree.
So you tie a piece of cloth around the tree and you make a wish to the galaxy, and when the cloth disintegrates, that means your wish came true.
I remember that, and that is such a cool little detail that they went and added. So we have Savvy's workshop over here, and Doc Ondar's right over there around the corner. They're actually pretty big rivals. Savvy, you don't get to see here. He's a human, like an older human. Seems very sensitive to the Force, very wise old guy. And then, of course, Doc Ondar is an Ithorian who you can actually see inside the store. Savvy's workers are called gatherers. They're basically the ones that go to the scrapyard, which isn't here in Galaxy's Edge. They didn't build any of that. But they're also the ones that help you build a lightsaber, or scrap metal, as they call it here. So right away, Vi gets all of her stuff taken, needs to get it back, the cargo to build the base. She needs money, so she starts working for Savvy. Right? Doing what? Picking up stuff?
Scrapyard, yeah.
Scrapyard. They got different baskets for things that are valuable, some that can be like artifacts or relics. And that's kind of her job, to buy back some of her stuff that's been stolen when they landed, crash landed. As you can see, Doc Ondar is a collector of many, many things. And you'll see him back over here. There he is. Bit of a side note, in the Galaxy's Edge comic, Han Solo and Chewbacca are the ones that got this Sarlacc for Doc Ondar. Now, Oga's Cantina is mentioned a lot in the book. The cool thing is in the book, there's actually a restroom in Oga's, because there's not one in real life, you have to leave. But in this restroom, Vi gets kind of kidnapped and brought to the secret underground lair of Oga.
The hidden door is in one of the stalls.
And that's when Oga makes the arrangement for her to go find the necklace. All right, so what happened on the balcony?
So
we're assuming it's this balcony.
Yeah. Vi notices a disturbance and comes out and sees Oga shouting up at her Wookiee boyfriend that she claims that he's been cheating on her. And so
well, the girl's there too, so it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
So Oga shoots him dead.
Body fell somewhere around there.
Somewhere on the streets. That'd be cool if they added like
Scorch mark.
a little stain or something. A little detail. All right, so in the book, the First Order is not actually established in the city initially. They're actually in the outskirts also. They come to the planet because they know Vi is here, or what do they call her? What's her Magpie?
Yeah,
like
no, Starbird. Leia calls her Magpie. They call her Starbird.
Right.
Yeah.
So they get word that Vi is on the planet, so they send a First Order officer with a small group to basically find her. Now, you get a lot more First Order interference here. In Vi's effort to recruit for the Resistance, she talks to the owner of the milk stand. He wasn't a fan though.
No.
Just a cool detail I'm noticing, you got all of these lights with different covers, but the ones back here are droid tops. Another thing that happens when they crash land is basically Pook, the droid, also gets salvaged, like half of him. He just gets cut in half, taken away. Vi finds the other half of him in the droid depot. Here in Mubo's droid depot, Vi finds the other half of Pook and has to get it from him. Does she pay? She pays him for it.
Yeah.
And he helps take it back because she basically is like, hey, that's the other half of my droid, and she explains her situation. I do think it'd be cool if they had Pook somewhere in Black Spire. I've never seen him. Have you guys seen him? Is Pook around? Guess not. So this is Salju's workshop. She's the mechanic that works here. And that's about it. Alright, that's going to do it for a basic walkthrough of Black Spire and pointing out things that happen in the book. There's a lot of other things, but we're just kind of doing the key critical parts and what is associated with it. And I'm pretty sure we got most of it.
Yeah.
Have you read the book? Do you enjoy the book? I like it. You like it?
I like it.
It's a
Yeah.
good book. But that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. The caravan is moving on.